Welcome to Accent Music Instruction. This is the third video about time signatures and meters. In the first video, we talked about simple time, and in the second video, we talked about compound time. If you haven't watched either of those videos, I recommend doing so before watching this video. This video is going to be about odd time signatures or asymmetric meters, but we're going to use the term mixed meters. The first video was on simple meter. In simple meter, each main beat is split into two smaller parts. In the second video, we learned about compound meter. In compound meter, each main beat can be split into three smaller parts. In mixed meter, some of the main beats will be split into two smaller parts, and some of the main beats will be split into three smaller parts. So that actually means that the length of the main beats will change. For instance, the first time signature we're going to look at is 5/8. In 5/8, there are 5/8 notes in each measure. You could represent one main beat with a quarter note and the other main beat with a dotted quarter note. So one main beat is actually longer than the other. You could have the first main beat represented by a quarter note, which would then split into two eighth notes, or the second main beat could be represented by a quarter note, which would then split into two eighth notes. So you could either count it 1 and 2 and, or you could count 1 and 2 and. You could also, of course, count up to 5. We're going to listen to a song called Hell Is Home by my band No More Pain, and this instrumental section is in 5/8. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. If we look at the score, you'll notice that the drums are emphasizing the two main beats. The drums actually only hit on those two main beats. You might have also noticed that the melodic direction of this riff emphasizes the two main beats. The highest note of each measure is on the two main beats. Let's listen to that one more time. Okay, so now we're going to check out 7/8. So in 7/8, there are 7/8 notes in each measure. So 7/8 can be 2 plus 2 plus 3, or 3 plus 2 plus 2, or it could even be 2 plus 3 plus 2. Now, in my experience, it's most common to have 2 plus 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2 plus 2 rather than 2 plus 3 plus 2. So you could count, if it's 2 plus 2 plus 3, you could count 1 and 2 and 3 and, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it's 3 plus 2 plus 2, you could count 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Or you could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to check out another No More Pain song called Binary Annihilation Glitch, and it is in 7/8, and it's 2 plus 2 plus 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and let's check it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In Binary Annihilation Glitch, the drums are also emphasizing the main beats like they did in Hell Is Home. However, in this, the snare and the cymbal emphasize each main beat, and then the bass drum shows where the subdivisions are. Let's listen to that one more time. Now we're going to check out the time signature 11/8. In 11/8, there are 11 eighth notes in each measure. So there's lots of combinations of 2s and 3s you could have in 11/8. Basically, the higher the number, the more options you have as far as combining beats. Right? In 5/8, you could really only have either 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2. So you only had 2 options. In 7/8, we had 3 options. And this, there's even more options. We're not going to go over all of the options. We're just going to use the subdivisions in the example. The pattern is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. The Mario Kart 64 winning results music is in 11/8 and it follows that pattern. So let's check that out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. In Mario Kart, the bass emphasizes each main beat. It only hits on the main beats except for that one little eighth note, which happens on the of 3. The chords change on the first beat of each measure, emphasizing the start of each new measure. Let's listen to that one more time. Now we're going to check out 15/8. And the example I have is Learning to Live by Dream Theater. In 11/8, there were 11 eighth notes in each measure. Now in 15/8, there are 15 eighth notes in each measure. So that gives us even more freedom with how we mix between subdivisions of 2 and subdivisions of 3. The pattern used in Learning to Live is 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. So we could count that like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. In Learning to Live, it's the melodic contour of the keyboard part that shows us where the emphasis is, which leads us to this grouping that we have here. You can see that the first 2 beats each start with rather low notes, which emphasize the main beats. Beats 3, 4, and 5 are a little bit different, and you could argue about how those could be grouped based on just this keyboard part. This is the grouping that's in the Dream Theater keyboard ontology. Let's listen to that one more time. All right, now things are going to get really interesting. We're going to check out 1916. So this is a particularly strange time signature. It's different from the others because instead of subdividing to eighth notes, we're subdividing to 16th notes. There are 19 16th notes in 1916. If there are 20 16th notes, you could just use 5/4. Because 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. So we have to split this up by 16th notes because the last grouping is a group of 3 16th notes. So we're actually going to think of this as 4s and 3s, as being split into 4s, 4 16th notes, or 3 16th notes. For our example, the groupings are 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. So I like to count that this way. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 5E. Let's check out Keep It Greasy by Frank Zappa. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 5E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 5E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 5E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 5E and. Looking at the score for Keep It Greasy, we can see that the drummer is actually treating it a lot like 4/4, except for the last main beat, which are those 3 16th notes. So those would be 3 more 16th notes than 4/4. We can see that he puts the bass drum on beat 1 and snare drum on beat 2. He emphasizes beat 1 with the bass drum, and he emphasizes beat 2 with the snare drum. Very, very common in 4/4. He also emphasizes beat 4 with the snare drum. He has some other snare hits, and there is no bass drum hit on beat 3, which is a little uncommon in 4/4. He emphasizes beat 5 with bass drum and hi-hat. We have an 8th note in the bass on beat 1, and that's a low note. Low notes tend to give extra emphasis, right? Especially on a bass instrument. They also emphasize beat 2 with that same low G. And then beat 3 is also emphasized with that low G, as is beat 4. Beat 5, the bass actually plays the highest note of the phrase, which is another way to emphasize it. That note's going to stick out because it's the only C in the entire measure. All right, let's listen to that one more time. Thanks for watching. That concludes our time signature video series. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.
Like and subscribe, if you like this video, then like and subscribe.